Alright, I'm back. I took yesterday off with it because I had other arrangements, but back at it, gonna finish this up. At least I need to get a wideband because I just changed that front pulley, so I'm gonna have to data log it and stuff. So the current wideband sensor stopped working. So I mean the gauge is fine. I just need to swap it out. Anyway. Uh, so I'm at least gonna button the back end up. Probably, the tires fill everything up, but just go through a few things. So what I got to do is push that CV axle back in. Basically, I would like to come over here. I'll get it started in there, and then grab the rotor here, and then just kind of push it till it gets close, and then you can pull back. You can pull back and push a little bit, and then you can get it to pop in. And, obviously same thing for both sides. And then once I do that, I can bolt these back up. I have all the bolts already up there, so just got to take them off. So I did that so I would not misplace them. And, yeah, that'll be it for this. Oh, well, you just pop these in to... I could probably set the camera up for that. So, yeah, I'll get something started here. All right, I'm gonna try to get this on. No, on the other side, I just raised the control arm with this tall jack just a little bit, just to take a little angle out of it to line that up a little better, get a better straight shot. It's easier to, so I got it like on the splines. Just gotta, you want to get it started. That's it. So, when you're putting this back together, if you've ever taken the control arm off, these have like that little flat there that points towards the control arm, and the other one the same thing but the opposite, against the control arm, that flat spot. That's going to keep the control arm from walking. So just make sure you don't put those on like two the same way, or the whole control arm possibly could slip off them bushings, and then yeah, that wouldn't be good. All right, so this isn't too bad. Like I said, if you're on the floor or whatever, you'd be able to lower this down, or raise it up, with the floor jack. I'm just checking right now to see if the CV's in all the way. That'll piss me off. But So these have, and the same thing with the other side, 2 washers behind the control arm. So I'll start on the end. We get the bolt through. I got it raised slightly. That one, and then I'll do the other end. Kind of makes it easier. I suppose I could lower it a little bit, but I have a supporting jack up front, so then I have to change the height of that and all that. It's not that bad. All right, I got those 2. Again, you have these flats got to go against the control arm. The little tricky sometimes getting the washers. I mean, it's not really that bad, but you gotta stick them behind there for these. It's not too bad. This one I got a caliper slightly in my way. This is basically, I'm just going by feel. Lost control. I probably could just take these gloves off. If I don't get it this time, I will. All right, that, I got it. It only really took like 30 seconds. I had to pick it up off the floor. So, now I'm gonna hit these. I did look behind to make sure that all the washers were in there. I like to hold these straight. They kind of got like a square on them, so they're lined up. Part for the shock now. It's not a big deal, but these are QA1 double adjustable. So basically here, they're slightly shorter than the stock ones. So you kind of got to raise it up a little more. So I'd say totally, there's a little less up and down travel, but it doesn't affect anything driving wise. Just don't have them too loose on the highway because it'll bottom out. It took me a little bit playing with the settings to get it where I wanted it. This ratchet's like the best thing ever. You know, I stopped using air ratchet because of the pain in the ass of the hose. But that don't have a hose, so. That gun tight were pretty fucking good because they're not moving. I just double check, weak battery or something. Might not be tight all the way. But yeah, like I was saying, I had to mess around with compression and rebound and all that until I got it right. And that's that for that part. Alright, with these cars, it's like you have to use this shit or else you'll never get in there. I mean, I guess you could, but it's just easier. It takes almost 3/4. And I believe we did this before, like every 8 pumps of this was a quart. I can tell you one thing, don't let your brother-in-law use it to pump gasoline. Because the last one I had, not that they're expensive, but it didn't work anymore after you pump like 5 gallons of gas with it. Just does not work. I did when I drained it, since the way it comes out clean. I did put some of it with new stuff and old stuff, guys. The oil literally has like 3,000 miles on it. And then this is 75-140 limited slip additive in it already. And I might use this for the transmission too, but what I'll do is, I got that whole jug there of torque drive. That's what they suggest to put in there. Not cheap either. But anyway, I don't need that whole thing, so I'll just pump this till I see red, and then I'll start putting it in the fill hole of the transmission. And you're just gonna do this until it comes out of that hole, which should be on the next jug. I hate this part. It's not hard, but it's just sometimes could be messy, like the first couple pumping shit up on the floor. And I got this thing full to the brim. put a plastic bag over the cradle so that when it does come out, it's not going to get all over the cradle, and then I got to fucking spray that. And there it's coming out. And that's that with that. Alright, you should be able to see now, got that flushed out, that the fluid is now red. Should be able to see that. So, I got it, the drain plug's on the driver's side, about halfway up, about the middle of the case. So, the difference with this though, is it's one big container, so I just had to pump until it starts leaking out. I can't remember what it takes or what it's supposed to take. I think maybe a gallon. I think this is 2.5 gallons, so roughly half of it. Again, this is the same stuff that I just drained it out and put it right in here because it looked like it was brand new, so there was no reason not to put it back with the, you know, the main supply. Actually, there is a sight thing on the side of the bottle, but I don't remember how much it takes. I can tell you that this is easier to pump than gear oil. Pretty soon, when this is done, I'll be getting onto the Mustang, doing a little bit on that, video-wise, and that car turned out pretty good. It's almost the same thing like this setup, you know, supercharged, stock type cam, kind of like a sleeper, I guess. It ain't the fastest thing, but it ain't bad. It's coming out now. So I'm gonna let it go for a minute. See if it, this stuff's pretty thin. I don't really think like it's got to creep into any crevices or anything like that. Look here. It took a gallon because it was at maybe a gallon and a half. How much is it in there? 2.5 gallons, and there's a gallon left. So let's give it one more. I know what's coming out. As soon as I pull a hose out, try and pour it. Nothing like oil everywhere. At least it's in here. Right after I bought this lift, it's the first couple things I got was the this thing here for the oil and these jacks. Because, I mean, if I'm shaking the car, I'm going to put the blue jacks to support both ends so that it's like solid. And I've put subframe connectors on cars with jacks on all of the points that would support the car so that the frame is sitting how it would on the ground up in the, at this height, so that you could put subframe connectors in when the body is going to be where it's resting on the road, and before you lock it down, instead of people putting it up, putting them on, and it's supported not the same way, and then the doors don't work right and shit when you try to close them. So for really all that's left here is the exhaust, and I'll do something on that too, because maybe not everybody knows how to do the exhaust, so it's like kind of does everything at once. But the tires and stuff, yeah, I'll just put that on. Nobody needs to know that. If you need to know that, maybe you need to ask your buddy to do the stuff for you. And there's a few things up there I might want to zip tie, because the exhaust does run over there, and that's not, that light's getting me. But, you don't want to melt anything. But yeah, I think I'm going to put the tires on, and I'll probably finish this Wednesday, because the O2 sensor comes, and that goes in the H pipe, and I don't really want to put it back on. It'd just be more stuff in the way. It'd be easier to just wait. So I'll finish it up and actually drive it Wednesday. But I kind of want to just get this out of the way, just because I hate it when it's apart. I don't like parts everywhere. But I think that's going to be it for today.